Maranatha, Israel, what's going on out there? Start off always giving praises to the Most High. Blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach. The title of this video is The Israelites, Identified by the Curses. The reason why we're going through this is because we are still at this point in the awakening period that the children of Israel are still being lied to and being deceived by a false doctrine that other nationalities who has never been our people are all of a sudden now our people. And it's not that it's a hate speech, and it's not that we hate other nationalities to point out that they are not our people, but we have to tell the truth, because he says in spirit and in truth we must worship the Most High. We can't do no lies. If they are not our people and it has been refuted, you must be repentant. Period. So next off, we got brothers that don't even know that we the children of Israel, and they are sucked up into all kinds of grains of doctrines that leaves our people in even more state of confusion and variance than they were when they were before they called themselves so-called awoke. They were better off when they were calling themselves sleep. At least they weren't going around spreading craziness to other people. Now that they are so-called sleepwalking, you feel me? They think that they woke, but they still sleep, but they just sleepwalking. Our sleepwalking people need this help. So we got to break down these curses, something that nobody really has done. But before we get to the curses, we got to get to the warning. We're going to jump to Deuteronomy 12 and 30. There's a warning that the children of Israel has against learning anything else that the people in these days that is called the blacks or the Negroes or the African Americans has been deceived by, which is Egyptology and everything that roots from it and around it, into it and from it, like Pan-Africanism and Hotep. All that worshiping of the women and the woman is God and all this foolishness. So we're going to start at 12 and 30. It says, take heed to yourself. So this is something that's going to help you if you listen to it. Because if you don't, it's going to affect you. Take heed to yourself that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. The Most High said, don't say this inside your heart. Even though you may not say this vocally, your actions is making it to where you're saying it. This is what you say with your actions when you're studying other things out of the Bible, because for some reason our people won't read the Bible. They'll read anything but the Bible. For some strange reason, they'll say, "Oh man, well that right there has been something used against us," and you like, well, you're gonna have to show me where this book is not eligible to be taken serious, and then I might consider what you're saying. But everybody, you just stating these claims, regurgitating, that ain't gonna help our people. You gotta wake up to the deceptions. It's remaining in front of you for something, but they don't read the whole book. So it can't be the tool that they use to hurt you and to do things to you with, because they don't even use it. At 31, he says, thou shalt not do so unto. Listen to that. You shall not do so unto the Most High your power. You offending the Most High by doing this, man. By studying other nations. Studying the Egyptians, studying the Canaanites, studying the Hamites. He says, because every abomination, homosexuals, for every abomination to Yahweh, which he hates, have they done unto their gods. For even their sons and their daughters have they burnt in the fire to their gods. He says, right here at 32, he says, what things soever I command you, observe to do it. So whoever the children of Israel is, whoever these people are on planet Earth, they have to do what the Most High told them, and they cannot study nothing else. If it's not in the Bible, you're breaking the commandment. If anybody tries to teach you anything, that's why Paul said, man, if they are not content with the wholesome doctrine of the Most High, this person, he wastes his brains.
That's right.
You're wasting your brains, man. You're going about BS, trying to study into trying to say that these people are our people by going into other books that's not in the Bible. If you can't solidify your doctrine through the Bible, it's not a solid doctrine. He says, what things soever I command you, observe. That means study to do it. That means when it says to do, that means put it into action. Study to learn how to put it into action. He said, you shall not add thereto nor diminish from it. Unlike the Jewish people today that's pretending to be us. They got some people on planet Earth that pretends to be the chosen people of the Most High. And yet they are breaking Deuteronomy 12 and 32 by adding to the scriptures with this book collection that they got called the Talmud. This is one of the things that the Talmud says. It says, well, first let's go to what does Talmud mean, and then I'll back it up. He says, look, the word Talmud actually means instruction, oral instruction. And it says the collection of Jewish laws and traditions relating to religious and social matters. Social matters, that means talking, socializing, fraternizing and talking, exchanging ideas. These are quotes that the Edomites that were set up over our people during the times of the Messiah was sitting around there trying to legitimize all kinds of weird pedophilistic and sadistic intents that they wanted to still portray, but they wanted to try to squeeze in through the gaps, at the same time making us look bad, but and on the other hand, they get to fulfill their wild sexual demonic lusts. So back it up. He says, and thou shalt not add thereto nor diminish from it. We at 32. He says, right here in the Talmud, in the book that they call the Sanhedrin, verse 55, it says, a Jew may marry a 3-year-old girl, specifically 3-year-old and 3 years and a day old. Say what? The Most High, he ain't got nothing like that in the scriptures. These people got this in here, and these people study this more than they study the quote-unquote Torah. You go up into them synagogues, and they'll have these books in their hands, memorizing and quoting and reciting out of this stuff, man. They know these ones, and they hold and they try to hold up to all these right here. Look at this, another one right here. He says, a Jew may have sex with a child as long as the child is less than 9 years old. Thou shalt not add thereto nor diminish from it, man. What you talking about? He said, man, when a grown-up man has intercourse with a little girl, it is nothing. Man, kill that, man. That's that foolishness. These people right here is the devil. They need to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, They're not God's chosen people. So now let's get to the curses. Now that we didn't point it out that the Jews that they're saying is the Jews can't be the Jews. Well, I didn't really cover that they can't be the Jews, but those people are. I'll just say it. They can't be the Jews because they're not black. The Jews are black. We'll see right here, according to the curses right here. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 28:1. We start off, he says, "And it shall come to pass that thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High, your power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that Yahweh, your Elohim, will set you on high above all nations of the earth." So the Most High is an Israelite supremacist. He says if we listen to him, he'll set us above every nationality on earth. Then he says, "And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake you, if you shall hearken unto the voice of the Most High, your power." So it's a conditional thing. We got to listen. Somebody on planet Earth, whoever these Israelites are, they have to listen to the Most High, their God. And one of the things is they can't be listening to the Talmud. They can't be adding or taking away from the book. And if they be doing that, if they're not doing that, they will be at the bottom if they're not listening to the law, statutes, and commandments to the T. But if they are listening to the law, statutes, and commandments to the T, they're supposed to be at the top. The Jewish people are at the top. Yeah, I said it. Homeboys right here, they at the top. They the richest people in the world. They own all the money. They own all the gold. They own all the banks. Just on the strength that they are God's chosen people. But they don't even fit none of the scriptures. So these people got a Talmud book and they're the richest people on earth. They added to the scriptures. They're not listening to the law, statutes, and commandments. They violated Deuteronomy 12 and yet they're rich. That X's them out. He said, "He'll set you high above." If you listen to all statutes and commandments right there, that's Solomon. That's a picture. That's the actual real painting of Solomon. This is the painting that you can get when you go over there to Europe. You'll be able to see these things. But by the time we get pictures over here that reaches to America, they be whitewashed. They won't show you no black pictures of Solomon. But this is how our people was, man, when we were hearkening to the law, statutes, and commandments. We was the royalty that these people fantasize about being about, man. We have 15 though. He says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High, your power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes." So it's not just the 10 commandments, it's all his commandments and his statutes. That means everything that he says to do or not to do, that ends with a consequence. He says to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. What? All these curses. But it shall come to pass that all these curses, all these things will come upon you. What's one of them curses? We start off with the first one. "Cursed shalt thou be in the city." We the ones that have been having it bad since the inception of the cities in this country. I ain't got time to be talking about everybody else. The inception of this country, black folks been having it busy bad. From the Ruta, that means from the beginning of this place, you can see it in the black and white, all the way to the color pictures. We are the people who's been appointed to be thrown away, discarded, and forgotten. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, everywhere you look, man. This is the summary of our experience in this country, man. Cursed shall thou be in the field. When he's saying cursed shall thou be in the field, so when he said cursed shall be in the city, you see people over here getting tripped on. People over here having it bad. Well, cursed shall you be in the field. What was going down in the field? This is the type of curse in the field. The kids in the field, that's all bad. Because today they don't put their kids out there to work. They got child labor laws to stop that. That's cursed in the field. Getting tripped on inside the field. Where you know what I mean? Like, do you guys got pictures and memorials? I'm talking to any nationality. I'm calling y'all out. Y'all ain't got no pictures and memorials of y'all getting whipped in the field. Y'all ain't got no pictures of y'all being cursed in the field, having a bad experience in the field. I ain't saying working in the field, because then you're gonna start trying to bring in Mexicans. Oh yeah, well, Mexicans, they work in the field. No, they get paid. They're not cursed in the field. Nobody's beating their backs in. We were cursed in the field. We were getting tripped on, hurt, afflicted, oppressed while we was in a field. You feel me? He says, at 17, curse shall be your basket. What is your basket? Your basket is the immediate goods that you have on your body, on your person. The goods that you have on your immediate person. Today, that'll translate into your money. Curse shall be your money, or the things that you buy on hand. The stuff that you buy, or the money that you have on hand. Your spending ability, everything. People know that blacks are the number one spenders, the number one wasters, the number one consumers, the number one buyers. But we're last to save. We last to invest. He says, curse shall be your basket. Do you feel me? We're supposed to have a gang of money from all the labor that we put in here in these hundreds of years in this nightmare. But instead, we broke. We got empty baskets. Mexicans ain't broke. They don't have empty baskets. Don't forget, they got Mexico. Yeah, I said it. Don't forget, they got Mexico. They are doing fine over there. While the Negro is broke. He says, curse shall be your store. The store equates today to your bank. What you collect, the goods that you collect, the wealth that you collect. So our inability to know how to spend and even to be able to spend has been heavily what would be the word for it? Has been enabled. We don't have the money. We don't have the money nor the know-how to spend money on hand, and we don't have the bank account that matches up with everybody else's, because it's cursed. You go to the bank and they tell you to go see the loan officer, like you see in this picture, and the loan officer is a Klansman. Yep. Just shutting it down, giving you no credit. The numbers prove it. Right here, look it. After that 2008 crash that we had, when everybody was losing their homes and the foreclosures and all that, and they went through a recession. Look how many people got loans after that. Look at the loans. Asians, way up there. Mexicans, they got theirs too. And a lot of them don't be getting loans. The reason why you just don't see their numbers actually adding up, because most of the Mexicans that you see ain't American, they're illegals. So they don't register on the Richter scale. And then what you see right here, dragging and sagging way at the bottom like a dirty diaper, is the Negroes, man. We've been sitting here and we have not bounced back. We hit and it hit us hard. We fell all the way down to where we weren't even registering on the scale, and now here, look at us. We're still dragging and sagging. We get denied for the mortgages at them banks. So curse is your basket. Curse is your store. You go to California and you go try to rent a house, and you got 50-50 chance. 50-50. You might rent from a white person, or depending on the neighborhood, if you start living in a cheaper neighborhood like $1,000 and under, you'll be renting from a Mexican. Mexicans got it sold up. They own homes out here. And Mexicans own homes as far as I've been to Colorado. They own homes out there. They don't rent. They be owning their homes. People be collecting houses. Mexicans collect houses. White people collect houses. Arabs and Chinese collect houses. Negroes rent. It's that simple. Yeah, there's some people that fit in between the cracks. But like one of my over here said, Akaran, he said, yeah, there's some exceptions to the rule, but they're always on their side. They don't be looking out for their own people. They hate their own people once they get up there with them. Jumping to Deuteronomy 28:18. He says, Curse shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of your land. The fruit of your body, your children. Your children grow. What do you mean by the fruit of your body? It's talking about the outcome of your child's life. Your children's life would already be set for doom and destruction. Born. You're going to look at anything that we're dealing with. It's anywhere you see Negroes at, man, where you see black people, poverty is somewhere very near. Everywhere, man. The fruit of the land. Any land that we're at. Whether it's here in the land of our captivity, whether it was in Babylon before we got over here, whether it was in Assyria, whether we was in Egypt. Everywhere we are, everywhere we set our feet at. When we aren't following the law, statutes, and commandments, man, we ain't having no fortune. We're having nothing but just problem after problem after problem. That's why the increase of your kind, Salakia, that's why the increase of your kind and the flocks of your sheep will be cursed. If your kid's life is cursed, and everywhere that you set your foot on is cursed, and man, that means, man, you'll be looking like the conditions of the Negro. Unlike the Hispanics, their countries ain't looking like this. They ain't looking like that. This looking like curse everywhere he goes, everywhere he be. You go to 28:19, he says, Cursed shalt thou be when thou comes in. Come into the land. Cursed shall you be when you go out. You leave Africa. Look at how we left Africa. So if you go back to Africa, this is the scenes that you're gonna have to try to avoid, like a minefield. And when we depart from Africa, this is how they are departing still to this day. In slavery. We at 20. He said, the Most High shall send upon you cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou setst thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed. and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, wherein thou hast forsaken me. That's right there. That's Tulsa, Oklahoma, back in the 1800s, man, when they so-called emancipated the Negroes. Well, we used to have us a city out there. We built our own city. We had our own everything. Had our own banks. We had our own, we even had our own currency. We wasn't even using the American dollar. We had our own currency. But, like he says, he will send a cursing, a vexation, and a rebuke in all that you set your hand unto, until you be destroyed. Well, this is how it looked before white folks showed up, and this is what happened. They came through talking about somebody that raped, some black dude that raped a white woman in a different town, fled into this town, and them people air bombed it. First bombing from air on planet Earth ever happening was on Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is how they left it. That's what he means. He said, until thou be destroyed. He said, and then after you be destroyed, after they just destroyed us, because that right there was our rise. That seemed like that was the movement that was going to emancipate and bring the happiness and joy to the Negro after slavery. Very optimistic. But then after they did that, they left us in a state to where all we do is perish quickly. Ever since that, we just, because if you don't have a place of your own, Negro, Israel, so-called Negro, Salakia, if you don't have a place of your own, so-called Negro, if you don't have a home that you can call your own, you're going to be living in the land of your enemies, and you will be perishing quickly. Here are the numbers. The number says it right here. This is from the FBI census right here. It says that blacks, we die the most by murder. That's how you perish quickly. To be perished quickly, it's either to die of some grave illness or to be murdered or a freak accident. And we ain't the freak accident people. Mexicans, who they saying that they are our people, they not up here with us. Negroes is looks like we die 4 times as much as any other race on planet Earth. Totaled. That bar, that dark blue line is total. That's insane, man. Nobody else can fit these curses, man. Everybody wants to try to sit there and say they us. Nobody can fit this. And Pastor, he ain't gonna go here and teach you this. Pastor would never teach us this because it is making us special. And it's curing our condition because it's addressing the cause. Read it on that 20. Look at it. He says, until thou perish quickly. Like I said, either you're going to die from murder or you're going to die from some grave illness. Cancer mortality rate. Where we at? We at the top. We are at the top. And there's more every other nationality here in this country than blacks. There's more whites in this country than blacks. There's more Hispanics in this country than blacks. And the Hispanics are actually way down there below the whites. If you ever notice, you start looking at their numbers and their charts, you notice that the Mexicans' numbers are always near the Asians. Look at that. The purple line and the blue line at the bottom. That's Mexicans and Asians. Oh, so your guys' bodies is the Mexicans and the Asians' bodies is reacting the exact same way to the conditions and to the diets of today.
Yeah, they're the same people.
They're the same people. They have the same type of bacterial resistance built up in their stomachs where they can eat strange things like sushi. That's the Chinese people. And Mexicans, they will eat that. I don't know, man, but I've eaten Mexican food where I threw up instantly. I'm talking, and I thought it tasted good, but I threw up instantly. While they were just chomping down on it. Because they have a bacteria that they can do. They can eat this stuff. They're the same people as Chinese. You know? But, you know? But the blacks, we beating everybody. And dying. Right here, according to the WebMD, just peep this, man. This is our people, man. We gotta know these things. This is what separates us from everybody else. Nobody else is perishing quickly. We are the people that perishes quickly. Nobody else is the people that is perishing quickly. Peep this, diabetes by the WebMD. Diabetes is 60% more common in black Americans. What? Than in white Americans. Blacks are up to 2.5 times more likely to suffer a limb amputation and up to 5.6 times more likely to suffer kidney diseases than other people with diabetes. African Americans are 3 times more likely to die of asthma than white Americans. Deaths from lung scarring, sarcoidosis. Bear with me if I'm messing that all up. Sarcoidosis are 16 times more common among blacks than whites. The disease recently killed former NFL star Reggie White at age 43. Took that brother out, man, at the peak of his life. Everybody else is peaking at 43. Peep this. He said despite lower tobacco exposure, so we smoke less than everybody, but black men are 50% more likely. That means, like, what? That means almost double, 50% more likely than white men to get lung cancer. Wait a minute. Cancer. Oh, okay, so we're way up there and the Mexicans are way down there. So that's why they're not mentioning any Mexicans or anything on this one, because they're not even registering on the Richter compared to whites. The only people that's next to us is catching these diseases would be whites. Why? Because that's our twin, that's our diabolical twin. Yep. He's our diabolical twin. So yeah, there's some things that's going to be happening with him that's going to be kind of looking like, you know what I'm saying, same numbers with us, but ours is going to still be surpassing him because he is not the chosen people. Ours is going to stand out no matter what. We're the forerunners in all these crazy things, not to brag about the negative. But peep this. He says strokes, 4 times more likely. 4 times more, 35 to 54. Wait, Slovakia. I messed that all up. Let me write that up. Strokes kill 4 times more at the age of 35 to 54-year-old black Americans than white Americans. Blacks have nearly twice the first-time stroke risk of whites. Blacks, or Israelites, I'm going to stop saying that. The Israelites develop high blood pressure early in life and with much higher blood pressure levels than Edomites. Nearly 42% of Israelite men and more than 45% of Israelite women aged 20 and older have high blood pressure. Cancer treatment is equally successful for all races, yet black men, so when he says all races, he wasn't talking about us. Yet Israelite men have a 40% higher cancer rate death than other men or Edomite men. Israelite women have a 20% higher cancer death rate than Edomite women, and even higher than everybody else. It's just the numbers are. They're not trying to. They didn't mention it.
They ain't mentioned it because they're so low on the Richter scale.
Exactly, but it's because because we're astronomically higher than everyone else. These people are not even registering, and then they're gonna say they are people. Don't give over your stuff like that freely. Like our heritage and who we is ain't that cheap. Yahweh shall make. We at 21. He says, Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto you, until he have consumed you from off the land, whither you go to possess it. Yahweh shall smite you with the consumption and with the fever, and with the inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue you until until thou perish. So he gave us that right there was a summary of our afflictions. And after this, he's going to give us the rundown. You look over there, got chronic disease rate. We are the highest in diabetes. We are the highest in heart disease. We are the highest in cancer. The ones that they're saying that are our people, which are the Hispanics and the Native Americans, they're the same. You can see the Native Americans and Hispanics are the same people. They got the same reactions. But they're not us. They don't have the same reactions as us. Esau is showing as an evidence as being more like, closer to being our people than anybody. Like the scripture says. And the Asians. They're always down there. It's always that small little section down there is hanging around. And these things are pursuing us. That means like you're going to be known. That means you'll be the forerunner. That's what it means by these diseases and these things are going to pursue you. It means like you have to be the forerunner. That you have to be a person that knows that you have to be a people that is known to not be able to avoid these things, like diabetes, heart disease, and cancer, because everybody else seems to be able to avoid them better than us. They're not chasing those people. They chasing us. At 23. He said, and your heaven that is over your head shall be brass. That's like a spiritual saying right there. You hear that? Because, of course, we don't have brass over our head. So what does he mean by that? That right there is an inclination to it. That's a spiritual, that was a spiritual description of a curse. He said, the heaven, your heaven, shall be over your head. That is over your head shall be brass. Well, the heaven that is over your head, according to the scriptures, is a kingdom that is risen into power. The people that is over you will be brass, will be hard on you, will be keeping you down, will be making sure you're at the bottom, making it to where you will not be able to rise as a people. We are the people that fits that description because Mexico has a country and a military and it's ran by their own people. So all the oppression and all the stuff that's going on is self-inflicted. But us right here, we have people that's over us that is treating us like crap. And it's making it nearly impossible for us to rise. Like your sky that's over you, like they say the sky's the limit, but like your sky is actually made out of brass. Let's see if the scriptures back that up. We go to Luke 10 and 15 because even the Messiah explains that heaven is a rulership. It's a kingdom that rises into power. Right here in Luke 10 and 15, he says, and thou, Capernaum, talking about a city right here, which are exalted to heaven, shall be thrust down to hell. So obviously this city Capernaum full of Edomites wasn't literally sitting in the kingdom that the Most High resides in, or sitting in the realm that the Most High resides. He was saying, when you rise into power, you rise up into power. Well, if you rise higher than everybody else, that's considered you being in the heavens or rising up into the sky in power. And when you come all the way down to the bottom, or when the kingdom falls, it's considered being thrust down to hell. So we are in our hell. So you go to Daniel 4 and 22, he says the same thing. He says, it is thou, O king, thou art grown and become strong. He's talking about King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon right here. He says, "It is thou, O king, thou art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reached unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth." He was talking about his kingdom also has reached up unto heaven, his greatness. Like the Messiah was talking about in Capernaum. When he says in Capernaum, they have been exalted to heaven. That means through fortune, fame, and riches, and material. He says, shall be thrust down to hell. We have 23. He says, so we're going to read it again. He says, okay, he says, "And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron." These people right here, they're not in system and power, but everywhere you see where the Negroes are at, you got these Asians, these Arabics, and these Hispanic people suppressing and holding us down too, jumping in on the bandwagon with the hate against the Negroes. Everywhere you go, you got these people with that hurry up and buy attitude on us, man. Every store you're going to, that's ran by these people. So the earth that is under your feet, because these people are lower than us, their kingdom is lower than the kingdom that we live in. They're over here just as visitors and immigrants, but they can still set up shop and give you a hard time. Not allow you to be able to prosper, because they will be filling in your positions and buying up the areas in your neighborhood and renting to you at high top dollar, keeping you down, helping Esau keep you down. Because Esau don't even want to buy them the raggedy houses in the ghetto and rent them to nobody. They don't even want to buy them. They buy nice houses and rent them. These people will buy these other houses and rent them to you, holding your people down. Leviticus 26:19. He says that proof right here lets you know about this heaven that is over your head being brass. And the earth, the heaven over your head being iron and your earth being brass. This is what he means by it. He says, "And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron, and your heart as brass. And your strength shall be spent in vain, or your labor shall be spent in vain. For your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land or the different family bloodlines of the land that wherever you're at, in this one or in the Holy Land, they won't yield their fruit. They ain't giving you no love, showing you none of the fruit of the labor or the fruit of the Spirit, showing you none of the fruit like being kind, loving, gentle. Everybody treats us like crap. While the Mexicans, they're right there paddy wagging with the whites and the Chinese and the Arabs because all their hair is straight. That's like a secret end, automatic end for everybody that's not black. If your hair is straight, you're already accepted. No question. Secretly. Read it on that Deuteronomy 28:24. He says, "Y'all shall make the rain of your land powder and dust." Look at these people, man. It's pathetic, man. It's just like, man, that sucks. Look. That's their field? That's a cornfield? Man, that sucks. What? Man, what is this? Come on now. This is how our people is growing their food out there. That's why Africa is always starving and doing bad and everything is all weird. People's all malnutrition. Because look at it, man, they're cursed. Their land, their crops don't grow like the way they grow like this. Look at it, this is a farm in Mexico. What? Their land looks like it's raining plentifully. Look at that. They got a sea of green up to the knees, man. They got an unimaginable pile of food. Everything is green as far as your eyes can see. So he said, let me get to this. He said, the Most High shall make the rain of your land powder and dust. He said, and from heaven shall it come down until thou be destroyed. And how's he supposed to destroy us? What is the exact, the breakdown on how he's going to destroy the children of Israel? He said it like this: how we're going to be destroyed. The Most High shall cause you to be smitten before your enemies. And thou shalt go one way out against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. We the people that these things happen, not being taken over and invaded and got moved into 1 or 2 kingdoms of the earth. You have to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, literally all over the map, and all the kingdoms of the earth pertaining to the captivities, all the main kingdoms of the earth. Egypt was a forerunner, top dog kingdom. So was Assyria. We were there too. So we was in Babylon. Persia was another large kingdom of the earth. Greek, another vast kingdom of the earth. Rome, captivity, and all these things we had in common with the Israelites and all of these. And then we get down to America, into a vast kingdom of the earth, top dog kingdom of the earth. You're saying, oh, well, the Mexicans, they got sent to Portugal and Spain. But Portugal and Spain wasn't top dog at that time. Portugal and Spain isn't top dog now. This is top dog. This is the main kingdom in the planet, the police of the world. So you had to have been removed into all these kingdoms. The Mexicans wasn't in Egypt. The Mexicans wasn't in Assyria. Native Americans wasn't in Babylon. Native Americans wasn't in Persia, Greek, Rome. And Native Americans wasn't brought into captivity into America. They were already here. That's right. So you got to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Every kingdom that happened, including America, you had to have been brought into America, according to the pattern that the Israelites get put into slavery. To get put into slavery into top kingdoms. They don't get put into slavery into these little third world countries. At 26, he said, and your carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air. That's us. That's picture self-explanatory. And unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Yeah, I said it, into the beast. This is the beast. This is the American Inquisition. The little brother of the Spanish Inquisition. That's all this was. That's all what the Klansmen were. Was just another Inquisition, killing black folks. Their target was not Mexicans. Their targets was not Native Americans. We were their targets. At 27, Yahweh will smite thee with a botch. Botch means boil or inflammation of Egypt, and with the emeroids. And peep this. Let me drop this botch or eruption, inflammation, or today we will call like STD breakout. And if you look at the number of the Negroes, we that big old blue bar at the top. Yeah, you know it. We that big bar at the top. It would seem like something godly is happening to us with the rate that we're catching in versus everybody else. Like again, everybody else seems to barely register. And we are just taking the whole chart. He says, and with the emeroids, the word, check this out. This is a heavy one. The word emeroids in Hebrew, according to the blue letter concordance, is takaryan. Takaryan or takaryan means tumors in the anus. A tumor is a cancer. A cancer is a tumor. And look at the Negroes right there at the bottom. The bottom of this list. It says blacks or Israelites die more often from most common cancers. Then it says all cancers, lung cancer, colorectal cancer, breast cancer, and prostate cancer. We die the most. That is crazy. We die the most. Rectal cancer, that's tumors in the butt. Prostate cancer, tumors in the butt. Yeah, I said it. It says, right here, he says, incidence of invasive cancer by race and ethnicity. We get the most cancer out of everybody. There we go again, Hispanics, Asians, Native Americans, always sit down there at the bottom three little guys again. He said, and with the scab or the scratch, and if you talk about the scab, according even in the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, talks about the curses that you're gonna be hitting the daughters of Zion with, and one of the curses is the scab of the scalp. So when he's talking about the scab, he's talking about that scab on the scalp, the inability to grow hair. And then you see him scratching. You look at the Hebrew word for the word that you see in scab. It's actually defined as scratch. So you see this scratch and scab that our sisters always patting their head at. That's what they doing. They trying to scratch some type of something going down up under that weave. And this is what it looks like for some of them when they take it off. That's why you would never see. That's why some of you never see them with it on. Because our sisters has been hit with this curse, man. Mexicans don't cut heads like that, man. You ain't gonna see no Mexican girls running around with this. They love their hair. They proud of that. He says, and with the itch. And like I'm saying, I'm not honing on Mexicans because I hate them. I'm honing on Mexicans because somebody trying to say that they are our people, and I have to let you know, no, they're not. No hate against them, but no, they're not. And that's just, I'm gonna leave it at that. And with the scab, and with the itch, that's meaning an eruptive disease, breakouts. Look it out, an eruptive disease whereof thou cannot be healed. So this itch is not the same thing as that botch at the top that we was talking about when we were talking about inflammations. That was STDs and stuff. But these inflammations right here is and eruptions could be all kinds of different STDs. The description of all kinds of most STDs is inflammations and eruptions and boils and pusses and stuff. But then you get to this one, eruptive diseases that you cannot be healed of. It ain't talking about like STDs. It's talking about like chronic diseases, things that just happen out of nowhere that can knock you out of the park, get you up out of here. You feel me? Well, blacks is at the top for eruptive diseases. This is right here. This is strokes. We get the highest. We are the highest people to catch strokes. Hispanics or white non-Hispanics, whatever they mean by that, and Mexicans, they are like exact same. age by age. They just are not getting tripped on by the Most High for strokes. He doesn't just suddenly kill them out of nowhere, he just suddenly kills us. Look at it. Primary and secondary syphilis. That right there can kill you. It said rates by ethnicity and sex. Look at us. We taking a chart on diseases. That's something that can't be healed. On all things that are incurable, we can't be healed. And then you go to Deuteronomy 28 and 28. He says, the Most High shall smite thee with madness. Madness, that means mental illness. Crazy. The reason why I show you these two charts, now just take a look at these charts real quick and then peep this. The reason why I show you two charts on here, one chart, that chart at the top is the European Union, because they don't offer a check when you're crazy. You know what they do when you're crazy? They lock you up. They put you in a mental hospital. They don't play with you. You feel me? So their numbers actually register realistically. But America, the crazy people, just peep this. The people in America, they give you a check. That's why when you look at the stats for mental health, it says mental health services. That means checks, SSI checks. Black people are the number one people that gets denied for SSI in America. So they're not trying to give black people that lifelong check when you apply for SSI, saying that you crazy. But they know that that's a way that the crackheads used to do to get crack back in the 80s and the 90s. So now we are always just on that list to where people are easily denying you based off of your color, because they think that you're always trying to run some game. But when whites, Asians, and Hispanics go up in there, they give them that check. So that's the reason why I wasn't able, I put the chart up there, but I wasn't able to show you exactly the numbers of just America, because America has an agenda on giving out and actually deeming somebody mentally ill, because whoever they deem mentally ill, they have to give them a check. You can't be deemed a mentally ill person in America and not get paid for it. Yeah. So when you look at the chart right here in Europe, where they don't pay you, you see where the blacks and you see where the whites are at. See how they're way down there at 67 something, whatever that number means. They're way down here. Realistically, we're supposed to be at the bottom right here in this bottom chart. The blacks are supposed to be like 4 to 5 times higher than what you see over here for the mental health in the American chart at the bottom. We should be 4 times higher than that. 4 to 5 times higher. So the Most High shall smite you with madness. And you can see it, just go into the neighborhood, go into a black neighborhood. You know they crazy. You go into a white neighborhood and they just call the police. He said he will smite you with blindness. Blindness is the inability to learn. The Most High has it to where we have the least access to education. We have the least access to math, science, and all kinds of other important courses. While everybody else got pretty much equal access. The Mexicans, their numbers are kind of affected by them always moving into every venue that they can fit into, including the ghettos, the suburbs, and the rich neighborhoods. They move in everywhere because it's a country moving into another country. So you got all types of people in all shapes and sizes and different financial, you know what I'm saying? In different finance strengths. And then astonishment of heart. Astonishment of heart. That is emotional instability. Emotional instability is astonishment of heart. Let's see what the Messiah says about the astonishment of heart. But first, we're going to read this checklist right here. This is what an emotional liability or an emotional unstable person. This is what they will do. Emotional unstable person is permanent or temporary loss of emotional regulation. Emotions dominate the controlling facilities of the brain. Loss of control gives way to bursts of emotion for no apparent reason. No stopping to self-regulate emotion or stopping to self-calm. All right, now let that sink in. Now let's run over here to hold on. Oh, what happened right there? I was supposed to have it on here. I thought it was up on here. Let me see. Okay, no, something's up. All right, so back it up. Stay right there. Emotional instability. Go to go to Matthews. Go to the book of Matthews. I believe it's Matthew 10. This ain't on the slide. I don't know what happened with my slide. I might have uploaded the wrong slideshow. But like just peep this. We're gonna go right over here. I believe it's 12. Mark 12. Man, I lost my slide. Hold on, just bear with me. Let me find that. Is that one where he said what proceeds from the heart? Yeah, I can't believe I can't find it. Well, the Most High, the Messiah said, what proceeds from the heart is evil surmisings, murders. Remember that scripture when he said that? He says, oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I want to get it. Evil service? Huh? No, what proceeds from the heart. Yeah, man, I can't believe that. Because I'm in the middle of the video, so I didn't want to lose train of thought. What I'm already talking about. Also, y'all gonna have to bear with me real quick. All right, I'm right here. It's in Mark 7. Yeah, I'm wondering where my slide went, but I had a slide on here, and so I think I might be missing a couple of slides throughout this video, y'all. So just bear with me if we run into this little pause interruption. But peep this. All right, we back on. We have Mark 7, and where he says, and he said that defiles a man with that defiles a man which comes out of a man, for from within, even out of the heart of man, proceeds evil thoughts. You see where we at right there?
Yep.
What number is that?
20.
All right.
21.
We had 20 and 21. He said, for that which proceeds out of the heart is evil thoughts, adultery, fornication, murder, theft, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, uncleanness, and a wicked eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil thoughts come from within and defile a man. So these things come from your heart. So to be having a permanent or temporary loss of emotional regulation, you would probably wound up committing an adultery because you can't control your emotions inside your pants. Astonishment of heart, fornication, that's emotional instability or astonishment of heart. Murder, that's an emotional instability. You might be having a loss of control that gives way to bursts of emotion for no apparent reason, or not stopping to self-regulate your emotion, or stopping to self-calm yourself and wound up murdering somebody. Same thing you be doing with emotional instability or an astonishment of heart to commit theft. An emotional instability to be covetous. It's an emotional instability to portray wickedness. It's an emotional instability to be deceitful, to be willing to deceive somebody. An emotional instability to be unclean and to have a wicked eye. An emotional instability to have to be dropping out blasphemy. An emotional instability to be prideful, especially when you're poor. And an emotional instability to be displaying foolishness. You feel me? That's all emotional instability or astonishment of heart. Reading on. 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropes in darkness. That means when everybody is up doing their thing and getting it going down, you be sitting around there walking around clueless, not knowing your left from your right, not succeeding, failing in a flourishing system. That's what it means by thou shalt grope at noonday, when everyone's up getting busy. He said, as the blind gropes in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed. What? Only oppressed. Wait, you say Mexico City? What? Only oppressed. This is what they got over there in Mexico. That ain't only oppressed. That ain't spoiled evermore. Fitting in the scriptures where it says no man shall save you. What?
Man,
America gave them that. White boys gave them that after they kicked their butt. Because that's what's happened. That's part of the treaties of war. When America kicks another country's butt, they take care of them if they admit defeat. That's all you got to do. That's why the Native Americans ended up getting reservations in the check. It's because they said, we admit defeat, now take care of us. Black people are trying to say, we want to be like you, so equalize us with you. And they're looking at us like, y'all need to read your book. Y'all need to read your Bible. You realize you should stop asking to be trying to be with us. He's like, you're going to only be oppressed in this country, and you're going to only be spoiled. That means used and misused. And no man shall save you. Ain't nobody gonna come out looking out for you. Reading on at 28, this is another curse that you gotta fit. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. What? You betroth the wife, and another man shall lie with her? Who's the people, man? I'm talking about we are the poster people for this. We are the poster child for these incidences, man. everybody knows who you're talking to when you talk about, yeah, wait until you walk into a room full of all races and just say, somebody here is the descendant of someone who was given to a slave master and raped. And I guarantee you, everybody gonna look at the black person and wonder, what's gonna be their response to you? They're not gonna look at the Mexican and be like, he might be talking about you. They're gonna know who is the people here that ancestors were being raped by slave masters. They'll say blacks. You won't be able to find nobody to dispute that. They're not gonna say, hell yeah, man, blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. They're not gonna say that, man. That ain't what they known for. He said, and thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. So that's the reason why he says, thou shalt betroth the wife, and another man shall lie with her. Man, why? Because the whole time you're gonna be building a house and not being able to dwell therein. If you had your own house, you'd be able to lock the door. Keep this Edomite out. Keep that beast from coming up in there raping you, man. But the husband building a house that he can't even live in, so he broke. And that translates all the way till today. Our people has built a house that they couldn't live in, and now we are going through baby mama drama. That was a ripple effect. It trickled all the way down to us today, being ditched for other races. Our sisters is running off trying to marry Mexicans and white boys because they know that the grass seems brighter on that side. Why? Because we've been building houses in this country and never been able to dwell in these mixes, man. You feel me? You feel me on that, man? That was a dual explanation. That was a dual prophecy that he was saying, man. He hit us with both of them. He's like, no, man, you're going to be hit with this in the beginning and every day of your life, all the way up until the time you find out who you are. You'll be able to see that this scripture is still applying to you. He said, because you're going to be build a house that you shall not dwell therein, and thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. Unlike the Mexicans, they working in the fields and they getting checks. They be driving off in brand new trucks. Everybody that's in California, you know I'm telling the truth. You know that you see the Mexicans on the side of them fields, on the side of them freeways, and brand new trucks. And it's only a very few of them that be having them raggedy, dusty cars. But I be thinking that they're just smart. They know not to bring they brand new truck over there and get it all muddied up. That's why generally that's just how I feel. Cause they be having money. Don't ask me how I know. I know they got chips. He said, thou shalt plant a vineyard, and you shall not gather the grapes. So you've been robbed of your reparations. You've been robbed of your labor. That's basically what he's saying. He's saying he said you're gonna betroth the wife, and another man gonna lie with her. You're gonna lose chicks to other dudes. Why? Because you've been robbed of your labors, and now you some broke dude. Your people been robbed of some labors, and you're just a descendant of poor people. Why everybody else just looks like candy hanging off of a tree. All these other races, they got all these glittering cars. All this strong smelling colognes. Your women is like, damn, man, the grass sure does seem greener on the other side. All you need is a music video and a couple of Save the Last Dance videos and something like that, and some honey videos. And now the sisters is sprung on white boys and Mexicans. You feel me, man?
Yep.
That 31, he said, your ox shall be slain. Your enemies. Your ox shall be slain before your eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Your ass shall be violently taken away from before your face, and shall not be restored to you. Dang, and he said, your sheep shall be given unto your enemies, and you shall have none to rescue them, man. Robbed of all labor, all property, all wealth, stripped, enslaved, beat, and left out to dry for nothing, man. That only fits us.
That's right.
You can't say that. You can't say, well, these people are our people. No, they had to have had this done to them. They can't have Mexico City saying that they are our people when you have a scripture like this saying that these are the curses that are going to be identifying the children of Israel in all of their captivities. Every time they go into captivity, they got to be getting tripped on and going through stuff like this, man.
That's right.
Not honky-dory.
Nobody's going to be able to redeem them either.
Nobody's supposed to be redeeming them. Not making no 1866 treaties. Go look it up. Go look up the Treaty of 1866, and you'll see exactly what really is going on with the Mexicans. Those people hate your guts. Native Americans ain't never been our people. He said, your sons and your daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long, and there shall be no might in your hand. Right there, that picture shows 1,000 words, man. We the people, man, been sold on them auction blocks. We the people that had our kids sold and we ain't never seen them again. Our sisters driven crazy because they babies have been sold. The beast with rabies. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. That's exactly what it means. That's why all these other scriptures that we were just reading right now, that's what they were trying to cover. It was covering that. And the Most High, he just bottom line just said it at the end. This was the bottom line. He just was the underlining statement to all these other verses before this right now. These last 3 or 4 verses we just read. He said, what? You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. Your chick is not going to be with you. You're going to be some broke dude left off. He said, why? He said, because the fruit of your land and all your labors shall a nation which you knows not eat up. And you shall be only oppressed and crushed always. These are going to be the 2 things hand in hand. You're going to have gold in your land, diamonds and rubies, abundantly. But other nations is benefiting from it. And the whole time while that's happening, while they're digging up all our gold, using our labor, using our people to dig up all that stuff, the whole time, us and them sitting here at the bottom, oppressed and just crushed, literally always. Why these people telling Mexicans?
We're the only ones though. And we're the only ones too. Like I said.
Yeah. Because all your labors. Look at these people right here. This is slave labor. These people ain't being paid to ride off in brand new Durangos. Driving off in Yukons on 22s like I've been seeing these people out here in California. Like I've been seeing Mexicans in Colorado, New Mexico, and Nevada. These people's balling. Everywhere I see my people, we at the bottom, man. There's a difference between us and them, man. Not only that the Most High has set us apart, our experiences in these countries that we are in is been set apart. We ain't the people. I mean, we ain't the same people as them. They are not our people, and they are not the people. We is the people. That's why he says, all your labors. He said, he said, the fruit of your land and all your labors shall a nation which you know not eat up. You look at Africa, that's who owns Africa. You see all those places. You see China. You see Islam. You see all them crescent moons. That's Islam. You see Russia down there. You see Britain. You see Korea. You see China. All right. You see France, Italy. All right, Britain. I'm like, all these countries is owning it. I'm like, and nobody owns Mexico. Just Mexicans own Mexico. And they're not only being oppressed. They can say, oh, well, over here in America, I don't care about what you say. They can go to Mexico and figure it out with their own people. Over here, we got no escape. That's why we are only oppressed, because we have no escape. And who's this dude? We don't know this guy. This is forgot his name, but this is the main Jewish dude that's in top of all the music companies.
Some red dude.
He's actually a Jewish dude. Yeah, red Jewish. Edomite Jewish. Good. He's right there. He's with the old school rappers and the old school cat crowd. He with the new school cat crowd. Same dude. Even with this joker. I wonder why he acting crazy. So this is a nationality. What he means by that too, like nationalities. He said, and so the fruit of your land and all your labors shall a nationality which you know not eat up. He's the one that's making all the money, and then and all these guys, after he's done, he chews them up and spits them out. They end up broke, gay with the hair falling out like crisscross. He says, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. I ain't saying crisscross is gay, Salakia, y'all. I ain't trying to bear false witness on my brothers. But when I say gay, I was actually referring to Bow Wow. Bow Wow and Amarion and all the dudes. He was messing with them dudes. That white guy, this guy, yeah. You dealing with that guy in his circles, people be coming out broken gay. You shall be only oppressed and crushed always. That's us. 28 and 34. He says, so that thou shalt be mad clean. Or when he says mad, he means clean beside thyself. That's in the Matthew's translation or the William Tyndale translation. That's what he's saying. He says, so we just back it up real quick. He says, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nationality which you know not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that you shalt be clean beside yourself for the sight of thy eyes which thou shalt see. And who's in charge of all our labors today? Like I said, that white dude that I just showed you with Kanye and all them. And what does he do? What is the labor that he puts in front of our eyes? Right there. They show us these images on TV. They show us man, our people have been watching this stuff. And since we don't have a culture, this actually fills in that gap as our culture since we were babies. And now we are clean beside ourselves. We are completely the opposite of what we were intended to be on planet Earth. And it's consistently staying that way. We are so far from where we're supposed to, we are so far from the actual, the intended result that we're considered clean beside ourselves, or considered mad, according to the scriptures, because of these things that we keep seeing, all these television shows and all these rap videos. Other nationalities, they're not clean beside themselves from seeing a negative portrayal of themselves on television every day. You can go watch the Spanish channel and they don't show you negative portrayals of Mexicans. But go watch black TV. Or go get Netflix and look up black shows. All you're going to see is either them killing each other, having sex, or selling dope and killing each other. And then we try to live up to that stuff. So the Most High says, Yahweh shall smite you in the knees. Why? Because you are clean beside yourself. And when you clean beside yourself, this is what happens. The effective is you are smitten in the knees and in the legs. That means your strength, your ability to actually do things about your problems. He said, with the sore botch that cannot be healed. From the sole of your foot until the top of your head. From the lowest level of your people to the upper people. All the way from your neighborhood, or from your jailhouse lawyers. I'll say it like that. That'll be the sole of your foot. That's when you're at the lowest part of your life. And he said the lowest part of your life will be your foot. And the lowest part of your life, the lowest time of your life will probably be in jail. Yeah, and anybody in there with that jailhouse lawyer shit, Won't be able to save you. It doesn't ever save them. He said from the sole of your foot unto the top of your head. You got your P. Diddy's. You got your Kanye West's. These dudes right here, they got the most black people listening to their words. And they ain't leading you nowhere. They ain't helping you with nothing. They ain't healing our condition for a lick of squat. Because that's a curse that we got. He said the Most High shall smite you with your knees and in the legs with the sore bot, that you cannot be healed from the sole of your foot unto the top of your head. The Most High shall bring me and your king. That our king is the Messiah, and the Messiah is the Word according to John 1:1. And the word that was in the beginning is the word. Salakia. John 1:1 says that the Messiah is the Word. So when he's saying that the word is talking about the Old Testament. The Word is that commandment that we heard from the beginning. So when he says the Most High shall bring you and your king, talk about our book, which you shall set over you unto a nationality which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. We've got all these other races, and every country that we are, and every other nationality that's in this country, they got them a book with Caesar Borgia painted inside their church, constantly reinforcing a slave doctrine on our people, making it to where this lie is being told so many times to so many people that everybody believes that it's true now. So when our people go and learn, they feel like they're learning the general norm, what makes it to where it's hard to wake them up after that, because everywhere and everyone is saying Christianity, because it's up to all nations now, all kinds of nationalities that we don't even know. They ain't living with us. They ain't dealing with us. He said, unto a nation which you nor your fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And that's another thing that it touches. You have to been brought here to a nation that you or your gods have not known, and then you have to be serving gods of wood and stone. They say that the Native Americans were taken into Portugal, where Portugal, they ain't serving gods of wood and stone. They just Catholics. They ain't serving gods of wood and stone in Spain. They just Catholics. That's just wood. They're not Islamic over here. Over here, we were brought over here into a land that us, our fathers, have not known, and we are serving gods of wood and stone. That Christian cross and that Mecca rock, Islam, Muslims. Those are the two venues that black people fall into when they want to get religious. In a nation that them nor their fathers have ever known. At 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment. Or in the William Tyndale's translation, you shall go to waste. A proverb, that means a stereotype, or you will be stereotyped. And a byword, or what it means by that is a jesting stock. That's in the William Tyndale translation. They, they both is good. I like to read them both together because because one doesn't take away from the other. Each translation only further supports each other. So when it says you shall go to waste and be a proverb or stereotyped, the reason why we're going to go to waste is because we're going to be stereotyped in a jesting stock. This is the stereotype, like something like this right here, like around blacks never relax. You know what I mean? That's a proverb. Trying to say, say from past experiences, these people know of us to be doing certain things, like, I guess, stabbing people or stealing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be this criminal, black, darky, evil man. This is real picture that these people used to I don't want to misuse the word, but perpetuate on us, man. He said you will be a proverb and a jesting stock or a byword among all nations, whither thou lead thee. In Mexico, they call us mayates. That's the word for nigger. Or chongo. That's a word for nigger. Or monkeys. Right here, this is the Mexican drawing of a black kid. His name is Meeman. He's supposed to be a black kid, but they made him look too much like a monkey. Or like a chongo, as they call us when they want to disrespect us. Go to China and ask me what they call Mexicans to disrespect them. They don't even know what a Mexican is. He said, among all nations. You got to be tripped on among all nations. So that was in Mexico, how they see us. And over here in America, this is how they view us. This is how they view the chosen people, man. The same way. Just and stock. And you look over here. This is right here in Norwegian. Or the Netherlands. In the Dutch Netherlands. More of the jesting stock. And then, we have a brother over there. Because we were over there putting the slavery over there too. Everywhere that they put us in slavery, this is how they treat us. Everywhere we've been putting slavery in. Yes, we've been putting slavery in Mexico big time. And Mexicans treat us like this. We're jesting stock. Or laughing stock. In Mexico, we're a laughing stock. In America, been enslaved. We're a laughing stock in the Netherlands. We've been enslaved there. Reading on at 38. And thou shalt carry much seed out of the field, and shalt gather but little in, because the locusts shall consume it, or invading nationalities will consume it. That's like the Mexicans today. All these fields that we then planted and built up in them crops that we enslaved over. Now the Mexicans is the only ones that get paid for it. We never got paid for that stuff, man. He said, thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shalt neither drink of the wine nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. That's the Mexicans. He said, thou shalt have olive trees throughout all your coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with oil, for thy olive tree shall cast its fruit. Basically saying you're going to be robbed of your wages and you'll be held down and suppressed from those results of that. That's us. Everybody else ain't robbed of their wages. They got countries. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. We are the highest incarcerated people in the country, and the highest incarcerated country, the country that has the highest incarcerations in it out of the whole world, is America. So that tells you, we are the most incarcerated people in the world. No one else. He said, and thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locusts consume. There goes the locusts. They all up in our land. That's Asians and Arabs. Arabs at the top, Asians at the bottom. These are all people in Africa. Sucking up the resources and celebrating about it. Throwing festivities over their success on all the stuff that they have acquired from the land of someone else that hates them. 28 and 43. He said, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. That's why you got the Baudelaire brothers right there in the ghettos. And thou shalt come down very low. And then you got the Asians over there. They up in the ghettos. Every time you look up, who owned them shops and them liquor stores in our hood? Chinese, Arabs, and yeah, I said it, Mexicans. They got all these stores with these names on them that we can't even pronounce. That lets you know right off the bat, you're not welcome here. This is not a store for you. And yeah, you can go ahead and be daring, go look for it. Oh, let me go see if I can find a light. They sell lighters in here or something. You walk inside that store and you see it. You're like, oh man, They got their own thing going on here in the middle of the hood. What's up with that? So the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. Camps, they can admit to, a lot of our brothers can admit to the Arabs being in our hood, getting above us very high and us coming down very low. And they can admit to the Asians to that, but they want to overlook the Hispanics. But the fact stands, they right there right alongside with them tire shops and all them carnicerias or whatever it's called and stuff. The Vallartas and all these Mexican stores, man. Havilas and burrito stores and burrito stands and everything, man. Like they balling off of us and they are charging, they overpricing us, which makes it to where we keep coming down very low because everybody comes into our neighborhood and they overcharge us. They don't come through and show us love and give us package deals. These people, these people they will not spare you 2 pennies. Be 2 pennies short, they'll deny the sale, man. He said, he shall lend to you, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head or before, and thou shalt be the tail or behind. Who's the one that everybody is bragging about they got to connect from? All our brothers brag that we got to connect from the Mexicans. Mexicans don't talk about they got to connect from us. Mexicans are the ones that has all the stuff. They got the tire shops that they can hook you up with the tire. They got the stereo shops where they can hook you up with a cheaper price to fix your stereo. Front you some herbs. Like them crack dealing brothers front you some dope. Ain't no brothers fronting no cartel or fronting no Mexican gang no dope. Mexican front black gangs dope. And then when he says he shall be the head or before, who's hired first? If we all go into Walmart, if a Mexican and a black dude go into Walmart, who is most likely to get hired? First off, you gotta ask, Mexican. Why? Who's the first off? Who's gonna be the? You gotta ask who's gonna be the hire. What's gonna be the color of the hiring agent? Mexican. Me and my brother walked into a store today at the Panda Express. I wasn't eating nothing up in that filthy. I suggest y'all don't eat ethnic foods. Don't eat foods from other people, other ethnicities. But we so he just happened to walk in there. Anyways, you see 2 Mexicans hiring. Nothing but a bunch of Mexicans. Like at a Chinese store. Where black people live. They have a monopoly on it. They monopolizing all employment positions. So you will be behind and he will be before. He said at 25, he said, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake you till you be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Most High your power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded you. And they shall be upon thee for a sign. A sign is an indication mark, an indicator. It lets you know what you're dealing with. And for a wonder upon thy seed forever. A wonder will be a story or a record. So it will be a sign, an indicator, and it will be recorded. And it will be and it will point to who your seed is forever. It'll always be able to point to who the children is. The children will be able to track themselves down by reading these curses. You hear me? The children of Israel will always be able to track themselves down and pinpoint who they are, regardless of where they're at, by these curses. Because they will be, the Most High said they will be for a wonder. That means the Most High will leave evidence behind. that will lead you up to knowing who you are. Because what the things that are going to be happening to you, like Zeke said, Daniel said, and Ezekiel said, he said, or I think it was Jeremiah. I know Daniel said it's going to be happening to, what's going to be happening to Judah will be something that is going, well, basically, it'll outperform anything that ever happened to anybody else, atrocity-wise. He said, then and forever after. Like, what happened to us in the transatlantic slave trade dwarfs everything else that happened to anyone else. You feel me? That's why he said he's going to make it for a sign and for a wonder upon your seed forever, because you serve not the Most High your power with joyfulness. So this is the reason why he's doing it. You have to serve the Most High with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. You want to get rich? You want to be rich? You got to serve the Most High with gladness. You want gold and property, you want everybody to know your name and fame and fortune? Well, you got to keep the commandments.
That's right.
And you got to be happy about it. You got to be sipping on a little bit of that wine. If you got to take off the edge and partake in that gift that the Most High has given us, and turn the party up, turn the music up louder. Like, dance. Just not sexually and lasciviously. And just the word, man. I'm trying to figure out a different word, just so I don't keep on murdering it, man. I'm just tearing that word up. Lascivious. All right, carrying on though, man. We have 48. It's just too much in it, man. He said, therefore, thou shalt serve thy enemies. Or for that reason? What reason was that again? You didn't serve the Most High with joyfulness and with gladness of heart. You didn't party like the way you was partying when you was partying with the heathen crowd. I see my brother, man. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to stress this point out, but man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I see my brothers, man, on the Feast of Tabernacles, and I love these brothers, man. But man, it hurt to see these brothers trying to do a Feast of Tabernacles, man, and they had no wine, they had no herbs, they were just sitting there, they're beating on the drums and stuff, man, and you know what I mean? I felt bad because I was like, damn. I was like, it's gonna be hard to get some people that I know, you know what I'm saying, or people that I know how, like, I know there's certain type of people that exist. It's gonna be hard to get these people into something that's going to be that turned down like that. I'm like, it'll be almost as if I'm going to be trying to force somebody to force themselves.
Yeah.
I'm like, come with me to come force yourselves to pretend like you're having a good time because, you know what I'm saying, this is all going to be done for the Most High, so just have a good heart about it and just do it. You're like, what? That's not how we used to party. When I was partying for Halloween, like, it went nuts. We was drinking, the music was up, people was dancing, things was going down. Like, yeah, people weren't dressed right, but if we get the dress code correct and we can get our dance moves correct, man, I think that we should show as much effort to have a good time for the Sabbath and for the Most High on His feast days and on His new moons, as we did on those Halloweens and on those New Year's parties and on them Christmas parties, man. You feel me, though?
Yeah.
It's real, man. Because why? Because for that reason, the Most High, because for you breaking that, the Most High, He gonna cause you to serve your enemies, which the Most High shall send against you. In hunger, that means you gotta buy all your food, for one thing. That's today. But back then, during the slavery, when we first got into slavery, we were just hungry, period. They didn't feed us good. We got the slops and the leftovers. Nobody else is actually known for those things, so they don't have a wonder and a sign upon their seed for this. Well, I looked in this book over here, in this secret book, and then right here, written by this white guy. Man, shut that foolishness down, man. Are they making movies about Native Americans getting food crammed down their face, getting their teeth beat in, raped? So just stop it then. He said, and in thirst, we gotta buy our water from our enemies, no matter what, in this land and in Africa. Why these people over here, Mexico, they buy their water from, they don't buy water from their enemies. They can go and buy their water from their allies, which gave them a country, that's the Americans. Or they can just go to Mexico and buy their water from their own people. That completely ixnays them out of this, man. He said, and in nakedness. Look at this, man. These are real pictures. This ain't photoshopped. Man, these brothers is looking bad, man. They serving these Edomites.
Bold.
You know? He said, and in the one of all things, everything.
Yeah.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he had destroyed thee. And the Most High shall bring the nationality upon thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle. As swift as the eagle flies, a nationality whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So these same people had to have done this to you. They had to put a yoke of iron upon your neck. They had to have come from the west, from the ends of the earth. When they're talking about from far from the end of the earth, he's talking about from the west or from the east, from the furthest east. The white people didn't come from the furthest east. They came to the Africa from the furthest west. From far, from the end of the earth, from the west, showed up to black folks speaking a language that nobody knows about, and then had them serve in chattel slavery. He said, a fierce continent, a nationality of fierce continent. You see, Donald Trump right over here, he has a fierce continent. This guy right here looks like he'll give you life in prison for nothing. Like he look like he'll give you life in prison for stealing a candy bar. This dude look like he will rip your kids from you and sleep at night and not lose a wink. This guy right here look like he will watch you get your genitals mutilated off of your body and watch you hang to death. And he'll have that look on his face the whole time he doing all this, man. They have a fierce continent, which shall not regard the old nor the young. We saw how he had them kids out there in the slave field, and they had our brothers working all the way until they were dead. They didn't have no Social Security back in them days. They didn't have no retirement plan. Our brothers and sisters, by the time they were able to walk, from the time that they died, they worked in them fields. And you get locked up, you mess up out here in this country, they don't care how young you is, they don't care how old you are. If they can legally lock you up, they'll lock you up. And they don't care how old you are, how sick you are, man. Them people, they'll give you 20 years when you 80 years old. They don't care. He said, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of your land until you be destroyed. You go look over there in Africa. Who's mainly eating up Africa? White people, pale people. Pale people is eating up everything. The place that they they call the Holy Land, white people eating that up. South Africa, white people eating that up. And scattered throughout everywhere else, white people eating it all up. Then you got the Arabs eating it up. Then you got the Chinese eating up everything else that the Arabs and the whites ain't eating up. That right there makes it to where we can't go back. They keep us over here. That's why it says, which also shall not leave you either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of your kind, or flocks of your sheep, until he have destroyed you. This dude ain't going, man, he ain't showing you no love. They know they taking our stuff. They looking right at it and say, check this out. They know they took us from Africa. After they took us from Africa, they don't want to tell you where they took us. All right, I can let you ride with that. But at the end of the day, you took me from Africa? Hey, man, you took me from Africa. You just now went back over there to Africa and just now dug up a pile of gold? Nigga, that's my gold. You just admitted that you took me from over there. And then you just took that gold from over there. That's my gold. We need our people to know this so we can get this into the hands, into the minds of somebody that can actually get this message out there to the forefront.
That's right.
Because that right there, case closed deal. You're like, wait a minute. Oh, we're supposed to be just general Africans? Well, you guys generally been taking gold from that place. I want all the gold. You owe me that. That's rightfully mine.
That's right.
Those jewels, them diamonds, those rightfully mine. No wonder why all the kings and queens that you guys have been trying to hide about. No wonder why they disappeared. You took them over here, and you took over their gold mines. You locked them up in America, and then you raided the gold mines. And now I'm over here destroyed. And you ain't gave me a lick out of none of it. You couldn't, for real, they didn't even come over and give me a bushel of corn. You didn't give me a flask of wine out of all that. All them animals they're taking over there and filling up them zoos, you ain't brought me a sheep. No, all I need to do is sacrifice me a sheep. We're on that 52, man. See, that don't apply to nobody else. Everybody else, ain't nobody over there in Mexico robbing Mexico of their oil and their corn and of their goods of their land. So just stop with the foolishness. According to Deuteronomy 28:58, man, you gotta be getting ripped off, man. Your land gotta be getting ripped off. Oh, this is their land. No, it's not. The land that they got over there is theirs too. What about that part? Part where they got the temples and stuff at that show that they were there. Let's go check what's going on over there. Oh, they got Mexico City built around there. They got skyscrapers and everything. Fancy cars. Get out of here with that. They've been redeemed. They received their consolation. Deuteronomy 28:52. And he shall besiege you in all your neighborhoods. That means over there and over here. Until your high fenced walls come down. Your walls will be your military force. Or the people that, if we don't have a military force, the brothers that stand up for us like Black Panther. The Black Panther Party. Civil rights movement type of dude. He said, man, what happened after the civil rights? What happened with the Black Panther Party? They came up with the SWAT team. That was the answer for the Black Panther Party. What happened with the SWAT team? After the SWAT team, the undercover surveillance and all them weird dudes. Snitches and stuff and undercovers and confidential informants. Police patrolling. Why? Because they had to go into they had to besiege us in our neighborhoods or gates. Until our high fence walls, or until the Black Panther Party and the brothers that were standing up for us with the straps on the corner, wherein thou trusted, because we did put in our trust in our faith, and that we're going to be liberated through the movement of the Black Panthers. He said, throughout all your land, even though brothers over there in Africa, they got a lot of brothers over there in Africa that they call them pirates, the Black Pirates. They doing the same thing. They be like the Black Panther Party for the Africans, but they actually putting the use with them straps. You know what I mean? They kidnapping some people. They actually getting some stuff done over there. Yeah, but they're not winning. It's not really doing too much. But they're out there. They wasn't able to completely wipe them out like they were able to do us over here. They have like a lot more places to hide. Well, people, he says, wherein thou trusted, thou be over here in America, throughout all your land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all your land. Where it says throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee throughout all thy gates, in the correct translation is supposed to be throughout all the land. That means anywhere you set your feet at. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all your land. So that's wherever you're at, and in the land and in the Holy Land that was promised to us. That's why this sentence right here would seem redundant unless that word right there, thy, that you see twice would be the, like in the Matthew's translation. That's why I subscribe to all Israelites. If you're not an Israelite, don't get this book, because I ain't even talking to you. I'm serious. Back up off my people. But you an Israelite, please go get the Matthew's Bible. Do not confine yourself only to the 1611. That's foolishness to do that. You'll be turning a blind eye to history. There was a couple of translations going around at that time that was way better. Unadulterated and had no government officials putting their hands into it. This was written by dudes like us right now. Underground Hebrews getting that word to their people, making sure they got it. When the white people had it in Latin. You feel me? He said, wherein thou trusted throughout all thy land, and he shall seize thee in all your neighborhoods throughout all the Holy Land, which the Most High your power hath given you. What he had given you? Well, you go to Revelations 12 and 14. That's what I'm saying. There's two places that he's given us. He's given us the Holy Land, but people are sleeping on this one. He's given us the wilderness also. Watch, it says right here in Revelations 12 and 14, it says, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle. That's that eagle that he's going to send amongst you. You know what I mean? And them 2 wings means that he is being transported. You use those wings to travel great distances. That she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, that's 100 years, times, that's 200 more years, so that'll be 3, that equals 3.5 times, 50 years from the face of the serpent. It's been 350 years since we've been, we've been a little bit over now. It's been 400 years, but the movement actually started about 50 years ago with that dude Abba Bibbins, with that Hebrew movement that he was doing out there in New York with the School of Israelite Learning. About 50 years ago, he started pushing this. So from the face of the serpent, talking about the British Empire, the Roman Empire, the Edomites, we've been over here now, taken away from all those people for about 350 years until the time of the Hebrews started waking up to the identity of that they're the children of Israel in a mass number, in a mass effect. So he said he's gonna give you. He said he giving her that wilderness, giving her them 2 wings to go into that wilderness so she could be nourished. And we, as that woman, the congregation of the Most High, is that woman. So when it says, and to the woman were given 2 wings, it says, and to the congregation, the true congregation, the Israelites, the chosen, the elected, were given 2 wings of a great eagle, were transported by the Americans, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished after slavery, after the hard chattel slavery in 1860 when it ended. We were now in the wilderness, being tried, purged, and now we are that gold at this final awakening period, eligible to shine in that temple of the Most High when we get into that kingdom. So going back to Deuteronomy 28:52, he said, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high fenced walls come down wherein thou trusted throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land which the Most High, Allah hath given thee. So it doesn't matter where we're in the wilderness or whether we are in the Holy Land or scattered throughout the wilderness near the Holy Land. Everywhere we at, we get hunted down, chased, and tripped on. And that fits us. Because white people ain't hunting down Mexicans in Mexico.
Man.
That ends that this is another one that cancels out Mexicans. That's why nobody wants to go down the curses step by step, verse by verse, because it cancels out Mexicans. It really does. Mexico City, just too bad of a blemish against this lie that they're trying to build up. Read it on that 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Most High your power has given thee, in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. In other words, these people are going to be so you're going to be so financially unstable that you're going to be desperate, and you're going to try to take advantage of even your own kids. Whether it's by them growing up, like, yeah, okay, kid, when you get older, man, you know what I'm saying? I hope you become a famous basketball player, or even sitting there taking their money to go try to flip it for dough. Trying to ball or trying to survive and trying to come up off of the same thing that you're supposed to be taking care of your kids with. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his own brother. That's why they be out there trying to kill each other now. That's why they be out there robbing each other, doing all these home invasions, murdering everybody. It's all over money. It's because these people is desperate. When you're eating the fruit of your body and the flesh of your sons and your daughters, or eating up the resources that keep your kids alive and wasting everything and blowing it and messing it all up because you are broke and you can't figure out how to make it work, man, you're going to have an evil eye towards your brother. You're going to have an evil eye towards the wife of your bosom. You're gonna have an evil eye towards the remnant of your children, which you shall leave. And you know who the people is known to be having that broken homes, them single family homes, that baby mama drama. He says, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat. When he does come up, well, for real, we're known for this. Our brothers is known for leaving one home and starting another family somewhere else and never looking back at that first family, man. Our people are plagued with that type of stuff, man. He says, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he has nothing left. He has nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee in thy gates. Because he's broke. This is what happened. Our brothers, he's letting you know, our brothers is showing no love. We have no love to each other. We have no love to our family. We have no love to our kids. It's because we are financially broken. And that made a ripple effect. It made a butterfly effect from being financially robbed for centuries. It created a beast. That's what it's basically saying. Like your person is going to be a money monster. And then it talks about the woman too. Welfare queen. Here we go. 28 and 56. So first we just covered 28, 55. And 54, that's deadbeat hustler. Yeah. Then we got 28, 56. This welfare queen. Watch this. Peep this. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set her soul of the foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. So this woman, naturally, if she was in the kingdom, she would be cool. She would not step out of line in any way. She would take care of her kids with a passion. She would take care of her family with a passion. But now, this same woman has been replaced with what? Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. Oh man, so this same woman that's supposed to be nice and cool, or that's the same way we meet them too. Our sisters be nice and cool when you first meet them. And the next thing you know, you become her husband. Once she realizes that you is her husband and you in for the long haul, she switched the whole game up on the brothers, man. And the brothers can't handle it. They don't know how to deal with it. So the cycle repeats. We back at 54 and 55. He says, you feel me? The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set her soul of the foot upon the ground. For delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young. And toward her young one that comes out from between her feet. That's abortions. And toward her children, which she shall bear. They teaching them how to cuss, teaching the kids letting the kids be gay, teaching the kids how sex and smoke blunts and drink alcohol, all kinds of stuff you be seeing on Facebook. Our sisters letting our little baby brothers and sisters just do the most. And they think it's cute and funny, man. Because she has an evil eye, she's stupid now. For she shall eat them for the one of all things secretly in the siege and straitness. Welfare queen, taking that card, keeping the card in her name, and then slipping off. And then when the man's like, hey man, let me get that card because you ain't the money ain't working out. Food didn't work out this month. Let me handle that. You attitude instant attitude. Something's going on. This person is not giving this up. All the way to the point to where it can get bad. It can get ugly. Over that welfare card, man. You can get put out. Yeah, I said it. Over that welfare card, brothers get put out. Mexicans ain't getting put out on the streets over welfare. Yeah, I said that. Reading on that 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou may fear. So this is how you learn how to fear the Most High. So you may fear this glorious and fearful name. What is that name? Yahweh Barakatah. That's right. 28:59. He said, then the Most High will make these places. If you don't listen to what he's saying and everything that he tells you, the Most High will make these plagues wonderful. I'm talking about, he means like people won't be able to get why they are happening to you so strongly and so abundantly. He will make all these plagues, like I showed you in all these charts. We are astronomically surpassing everybody on all the degrees of negativity. That's why I say he will make all these plagues wonderful, or really stand out. And the plagues of your seed, even great plagues, and of long continence, and sore sicknesses, and of long continence. That's us, man. Our condition has been at the bottom for hundreds of years, when Mexicans have not. They've been having Mexico for hundreds of years. So you can't say that those are our people. You can't say that anybody else is our people, but our people, which is called black people. If you're not called and considered as a African descendant in the Americas, I ain't got time to be talking to you about the book. You are not my people. If you're pale and you turn pink and stuff like that, get out of here. Your turn to come, man. Right. Your turn to come. Written on that 60. He said, moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Most High, Yahweh, bring upon you until thou be destroyed. Until everybody knows not to mess with you. Until you ain't able to do anything for yourself. And you shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven in multitude, because thou was not obey the voice of the Most High your power. And you look around. I don't care what the numbers say. Use your own 2 witnesses to start trying to use those for a second. And you'll realize there's not much black people concentrated anywhere. Unless you go like to the south, to like Atlanta. You gotta go there. You gotta go to like Atlanta. Other than that, come over here to California, Colorado, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Tennessee, all these places, man. Utah, like we're not the abundant race. We are
very low in numbers.
Very low in numbers. There's more Mexicans everywhere.
Man,
there's more whites everywhere.
That's right.
And it's rare to find an all-black city. Like I never seen an all-black city. Just myself over here on the West Coast, that doesn't happen.
Nope. Mexico.
So Mexico, you can find an all Mexico city. No, read it on that 63. And it shall come to pass that as the Most High rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to nothing. And you shall be plucked from off the land where thou goest to possess it. So the Most High, he enjoys our condition that we're in. He likes that we're doing bad like this. This is the result. He's like, oh, you wanna be whack? Well, guess what? I like to see this type of stuff too. This is a good movie. Boom. home. Daddy's home. Whoop, there it is. That's it, you know what I mean? Like you get what you asked for. Daddy's home. And he said, read it on at 64. Well, I'll go back to 63. I like that. And it shall come to pass that as the Most High rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Most High will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to nothing, and you shall be plucked from off the land whither you go to possess it. And the Most High shall scatter you among all people. What? Did you say Portugal and Spain? All people. That means you got to be in China. You got to be in Australia. You got to be in Taiwan. You got to be in Japan. You got to be in Africa. You got to be in Europe, Italy, Rome, South America, North America, Alaska. You got to be. You had to have literally been transported to all these places. If you wasn't literally
under the curses.
Yeah, under the curses, you had to have been transported to these places. If that didn't happen, guess what? You ain't our people. Don't think that Esau getting his blessing by obtaining all things with the sword, obtaining all the fatness of the earth with the sword. Don't think that he wasn't talking about America, and don't think that that sword wasn't going to be used on these Native Americans. You best believe he had to use that sword on somebody. He wasn't going to use it on trees and bushes, right? Like, come on now. They completely forget Esau's blessing, even though they know that Esau's the one that came through.
Yep.
You're like, well, that was his blessing when he did that to the Native Americans. You gotta remember, they were homosexuals, they were faggots, they were sadistic fruit balls. Like, let's not start trying to pass judgment over and turn a blind eye to wickedness. They were wicked. Reading on at 64. He said, and the Most High shall scatter you among all people, from one end of the earth unto the other. This had to have been done to you. This wasn't happening to nobody but blacks. That counts out Mexicans and everybody else once again. He said, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither you nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Well, guess what? Guess what? The Mexicans was serving the sun god before they met white people. Once they met white people and turned to Catholics, whether they were in Portugal or Spain or in America and in the Americas, they still worship the sun god. They're gonna still be up in there on Sunday. We wasn't worshiping the sun god on Sunday. Our fathers did not worship the sun god. We didn't do Sunday worship. Yeah, I know y'all didn't expect the brother to be able to figure that out. Yeah, that's called hearkening diligently and having the Ruach Kadash.
That's right.
We figuring you guys out. You can't get past these scriptures.
Nope.
The Most High is letting y'all know, like, no, man, you have to have been scattered everywhere, and you have to have been introduced to either the sun god, which is attributed to the wooden cross, or the moon god, which is attributed to the Islam stone. Our people wasn't getting down with that. Our fathers didn't know about that. These people right here been pushing it. He said, and among these nations, we read it at 65, and among these nationalities shall you find no ease. Oh! Nationalities, being supposed to find no ease. Well, the only people that's surrounded by nationalities, as in plural, is us. But among all the nations that we have been sent to, still, same thing. We found no ease in none of the nations we've been sent to. No reparations. Get shot down and get made fun of, jesting stock, and depressed, and kicked aside. Why the Mexicans, they got Mexico.
That's right.
So they got some ease. They can go find ease in Mexico. They got ease in America because they hiring them over black people. So that'll ease you if you are applying for a job and the dude next to you is black. You just now got ease from a nationality Just for the fact that the black dude is sitting next to you and he ain't about to go pick him over anybody else.
No, you got it from him.
Then he says, neither shall the sole of your foot have rest. That's Mexico again. Mexicans got a place to rest their feet. They can sit there and say, you know what, I'm done with all these nationalities. I'm about to go be with my people.
Yeah.
And they got somewhere they can go do that at.
Eat chili beans and roll tortillas.
Yes. I want a president that's going to eat chili beans and tamales and roll tortillas. Like, I'm tired of this other stuff. They can go do that. Like, I don't want to be ran by nobody that doesn't eat beans every day. They can go and do that. We are the only people that can't say, like, man, I'm just trying to go around just black people. I want to go to a country that just ran by just black people. You're just sitting there like, well, they got some countries and they might be third world and they won't speak the language that we speak. You're like, oh, man, what? So that's not no ease. I can't rest in that condition.
Have no rest.
Yeah.
They need to run to the great. They probably tripping too.
You feel me? He said, but the Most High shall give you there a trembling heart and a failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Don't hear about Native Americans getting tripped on in Mexico. I mean, out there wherever they say they got them enslaved at, in Portugal, Spain. I don't hear nothing about Mexicans. You know why? The Native Americans blended in. You can't tell the difference from them from anybody else these days. Guarantee that. So nobody's picking them apart. They're all the same. The world loves his own. They love his own. So he says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Most High shall give thee a trembling heart, and a failing of eyes, and a sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. And thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. That's us. We are the people that's plagued with gang violence. We are the people that's screaming out, hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter. It's because anytime the police get behind you, that literally, I'm trying to tell you, that could be the last day you live. They'll kill you out here. And we have always been living on the edge of destruction in this country. We have always been one wrong move away from being completely slaughtered and annihilated by these people. Their trigger finger has been so itchy towards us that it is not even a surprise anymore. Nobody's surprised about us getting racially violenced and tripped on, man.
It's norm. It's what they call the norm now.
That's right. This is the norm now. Man, their paradise that became our punishment. And nobody else is fitting these shoes, man. So stop trying to interject your people into our people. It really makes me mad. And our people, we need to wake up. We need to be
black to the time to be black.
Yeah, everybody trying to be black, and then everybody, and then the brothers that know that we ain't black, know that we Israelites, are trying to tell them that they're us. And that I'm like, man, if you say the Native Americans is Israelites, they know that they had to bring in the Mexicans. They're like, dang, we can't get away with just the Native Americans. We got to bring in the Native Americans. The Mexicans. You bring in the Mexicans, you got to start bringing in the Chinese because they're related to Native Americans too. Then I'm like, so then who's the chosen people? Oh, nobody's the chosen people. Like, it's only everybody's chosen people and just white people like that doesn't make sense. White people is only the people that's getting tripped on and everybody else is our people. Because it doesn't stop there. You can't draw the line at just Native American and Hispanics is our people too. You're like, whoa, based off that premises, we got to go even further. We got to start bringing in the Chinese and the Asians. He said, that's what I'm saying, man. It's whack. But we're going to read at 28 and 67. Oh, wait, one more thing, man. You got y'all people, anybody out here that don't know about these laws, know about these curses, and that they are identifier marks, that didn't know about this before they heard this video. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High, you heard this video, you know what I mean? And if you got any issues, get in trouble trying to convince one of your people into the truth, man, like, let them know this breakdown. You know what I'm saying? You can show them this video, or you can practice this video yourself and get this to them, man. Let them know, like, no, man, This proves that we are the people and nobody else is. Period. He says, in the morning, Salakia, in the morning, thou shalt say. We had 67, 28 and 67. In the morning, thou shalt say, with the Most High, we're evening. And at evening, thou shalt say, with the Most High, we're morning. That means no matter what in the condition that you're in, whatever condition, we're going to be wishing for something different. Like when we was in slavery, we're wishing to be out of slavery. Now that we're out of slavery, quote unquote, sitting over here in the wilderness, now we're wishing for the kingdom to show up. Because it never got good. When it was at our darkest point of our lives, or when it was at our when it was at the easiest point of our lives, we still been wanting a relief. We've been seeking and praying for a relief from the Most High. And he says, so then when he says, in the morning, thou shalt say, with the Most High as if it were even. And at evening, thou shalt say, with the Most High were morning. For the fear of thy heart, wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. Because we're constantly being oppressed, and we want relief. We want to get up out of here. This is the last kicker. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way of I spake unto thee. And thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. We are the people that was sitting over here on those slave ships. That is obvious. Anybody else is trying to rewrite that rhetoric, that ain't nothing but just that same devilish tricks, same devil up to his old tricks, constantly trying to rewrite and reform the narrative of our history.
That's right.
No, we ain't the original Native Americans. No, we ain't Egyptians.
We got here in 1619.
Yeah, and we got here in 1619. That's when the slavery, that's when the Egypt started, because over here in this country, this is spiritual Egypt, because these people built this place literally in the resemblance of Egypt. These people were consciously building Egypt here. So the heck with all that. Oh, Egypt means bondage. So every slavery is Egypt. Kill that game. No, because they didn't call Babylon Egypt and they were in slavery in Babylon. So shut it down. What? Yeah, I said that.
That's real.
Shut it down.
That's right.
You're not allowed to just start trying to make these scriptures fit your agenda and trying to stretch it so thin to where it doesn't even really make sense. We can't carry it too far. When he says he's going to bring you into Egypt, he was talking about that spiritual Egypt that was mentioned in Revelations 2. That the two witnesses die in. That is spiritual Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah. That's this place.
The two witnesses died there too.
Yes, the northern and southern kingdom.
Destroyed for the lack of knowledge.
Yeah, members of the northern and southern kingdom has been brought over here into America and died.
That's right.
And don't tell me that that there was no members of the northern kingdom around the Judeans, because all you gotta go do is read the books inside of Chronicles, 1st and 2nd Kings, and let you know that. Matter of fact, it was First Samuel, 2nd Samuel, 1st or 2nd Samuel, let you know that the 12 tribes, members of the 12 tribes. Members of all of the 12 tribes stayed with Judah.
Yes.
Like, yeah, most of the 12 and most of the other 10 tribes went with the northern kingdom, went with the king of Ephraim. But members out of each tribe, it was members out of Naphtali, it was members out of Asher, they all stayed. And how do we know we can prove that? Because the disciples, each disciple was a member from each tribe. It says it in the book of Revelations. The names of each gate had the name of the tribe above it, and under on the foundation of the gate had the name of each disciple.
Whoa.
That right there lets you know, like, no, the disciples were, each disciple was from each one was from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's tied up. So he says, and the Most High shall bring you into Egypt. He's literally talking about a place that's going to be mimicking the first Egypt again. But this time, it's going to be in these slave ships that you see at the bottom right here. He said, by the way of I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Like he said in Deuteronomy 17. And he actually, and he said it again in Exodus, I believe it was 14. He tells them both times. He said, you're never going to go back to that Egypt. He said, don't look back at that Egypt ever again. He said, because you see that Egypt right there? He said, you ain't ever going back to there. He told them that twice. He said, you ain't never going back to Egypt. That one right there. He said, I'm destroying that place. That place is done deal. He said, the next time, he said, you going to Egypt? He said, this one going to be done on ships. Yeah, I said it. He said, and when you going, you're going to be sold unto your enemies. Not you're going to be invited like you were the first time and serenaded into Egypt. Nuh-uh. This time, you're going to go on the ships, and then you're going to be sold. That means captives. The opposite of how they went into Egypt the first time.
Yeah, which is walking in there freely.
They walked in.
With rulership down there.
Being serenaded.
Yeah.
They threw a festivity.
Yeah.
Throwing flower petals and laying down things on the ground and making music and all that.
Land.
Gave them the best land.
Yeah.
This time, it's the complete opposite. He said, in there you shall be sold. So when it said the word sold, not you're going to try to sell yourselves. You're going to be sold. That means the transaction went through. You shall be sold unto your enemies, not your friends, your enemies, not your future partners, your enemies, not the people that you need to try to get along with next time, forgive and forget later on. These are your enemies. You're going to be sold unto your enemies. For slave men, bondmen, and slave women, and no man shall buy you or redeem you. Because in the Hebrew, for somebody to buy you out of slavery after you've been sold, they can pay the money up front and say, "Oh, you whoop-de-whoop owed you $1,300 of labor." Like, yep, and I figured that he's gonna have to work for me for 6 months. I say, you know what? I need that dude at the house tomorrow, actually. So I'm gonna pay you that $1,300, and you're gonna let my brother go. He'd be like, all right, well, give me my 13, and I don't care what he do with him. Here's the 13, let my brother go, let's go. That's what he means by no man shall buy you. No man shall redeem you. He even says it in the Wycliffe Bible that was written in 1338. I got a Bible that was written in 1338, and it says it right there in Deuteronomy 28:68. At the bottom, no man shall redeem you. So that's it. The Ashkenazi Jews are trying to say, oh no, that don't mean that. It says no man shall buy you because you guys try to sell yourself and nobody tried to buy you. It's like, shut up, that's stupid. It's not even realistic. That's some stupid stuff to say. You're talking to stupid minds when you try to get over with that one. Our people were sold in America as slaves and slave women, and that was an indication mark for who we are. So we can look up in these last days and to be able to pinpoint and find out who exactly we are before we end up being judged with all these heathens. This is your guys' opportunity, man. We gotta wake up. If you already woke watching this video, wake your people up, man. Get as much people to watch this, man. You gotta let them know, like, man, watch some of this stuff, man. You need to chill out and just listen. This stuff is imperative that we know these things. You ain't got much time. You never know when your day is gonna come, or you never know when that Messiah is gonna come knocking on your door talking about, you ready? You feel me? And like I said, man, you know, Daniel 12, if anybody they don't understand, man, like I say, man, they don't understand. It's because they have an agenda, or they're just turning a blind eye. They're simply turning a blind eye, not really trying to think and learn, or they have an agenda. They have, you know, they're against the movement in the first place, and they actually probably desire to try to steer you away from it too. Stay away from them, man. Repeat this. We at. I'm always going to finish it up. At Daniel 12 and 8. And I heard, but I understood not. And I said, Oh, Yeshua, what will be the end of these things? And he said, Go, Daniel, for the words are closed and sealed up to the time of the end. Many must be tested and thoroughly whitened and tried with fire and sanctified. But the transgressors shall transgress, and none of the transgressors shall understand, but the wise shall understand. You feel me? So if you don't get it, it's probably because you need to go ahead and fast and repent and work on some things about yourself and reflect and see if it's you. That's the problem on why this video didn't make no sense to you. Because, like I say, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't getting it, it's probably because you are part of that wicked. But until then, my people, all praises to the Most High. We give him blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach. Barakatah, my people. Wake up. Wake our people up. Like I say, man, don't have me out here doing this by myself, man. We really do need help. If you accept a prophet in the name of a prophet, you'll receive a prophet's reward. So you ain't got to be doing as good as I'm doing with these videos. All you really got to do is just let them know what's up. And if they are in doubt about the validity of what you're saying, hit them with them Deuteronomy 28 scriptures and run it down with them. They won't be able to get far. You won't even have to even read as much as I read, but I just read them all so you can have something to say about every last one of them. And until then, on the next video, I'm going to show you guys another video on some heavy stuff, man. I was peeping it out. It's dope. It might seem like I'm going a little too hard on some people, but we got to get these issues out. We must identify the truth, who our enemies is, so you can never get duped. Like we've been duped this whole time for these last 700 years, messing around with all these other nationalities in and out of this land. You feel me? Barakatah. Barakatah, Israel, we out.